Hi, Lou here to speak briefly about a problem for game designers, and that is that marketing doesn't adequately convey the actual play qualities of a game. A tabletop game is what I'm primarily talking about here. There's a dichotomy between game marketing and gameplay qualities, and it's strong in war games. It's weaker in Euro games, which are mostly fairly abstract. So often for a Euro game, any story will do because the game doesn't reflect the story. But in war games, usually the game reflects the story, the history. Much of game marketing is about the story. It's a fundamental problem, and it could be seen as a problem of education or maybe of timing. The marketing message, in the sense of the story, the subject, and the period of the game, can be conveyed up front before purchase. If people are in an actual game store, they pick up the box and look at the back and they read about whatever that box talks about, which is often not the gameplay itself. The message about gameplay quality is hard to convey until people have played the game. You can tell people it plays such and such a way, but that seems to be too imprecise for most to get it. So I'll take an example from a prototype of mine called Mandate of Heaven. It's a two-player war game, but one dominated by maneuver, not slaughter. Hence the winner isn't always a stronger force, and this is unusual. But it's really hard to convey that characteristic until you play the game or you've seen it played. The topic is Chinese rebellion at the end of a dynasty, and that's not very significant in popular imagination. So from a marketing point of view, the game is difficult to market. The game remains unplaced, despite being one of my best two-player games. There are also examples of misjudged marketing. My game Sea Kings, published by Worthington Publishing in 1915, was seen by the publisher as a broad market game, but they couldn't price it that way. They couldn't price it at $40, instead it was $55. Nor do they have much distribution in shops, and no presence outside war game circles. So, first of all, it never got noticed by people who are outside war game circles, the broad market, and second, it cost too much for the broad market. It turns out it is a good game for two purposes. One, to introduce party gamers to more directly competitive hobby games, although Sea Kings itself has a lot of luck in it. And two, as a vehicle for teenage boys to compete with one another. But that's not much interest to Worthington's clientele, even if the clientele understood what the game is good for. Now, what can a designer do about this? Nothing I can think of other than telling people about the game, in video especially, but even videos, how many people are going to see it? That's the question. Thanks for listening.